Hi, in this giant pumpkin update, we've added protection for the plants, opened up some of the hoop houses, and the plants are cranking along. Stay tuned. It is Thursday, May 29th, and I am at my hoop house with the 2177 Ford and the 1977 Ford. What my plans are here within the next minute, or I guess few minutes, is I'm going to cut out this 1977 Ford plant here. I just did some looking over the plants. I've been planning to keep the 2177 for a while, just based on how it's been growing. But I just have been looking over it in detail, just to make sure that there wasn't anything funny going on that I didn't notice before. But as you can see, it's got, if you can see that with the weeds there, it's got secondary sticking out almost to the plastic on this side. I think I counted at least 8 good secondaries that are probably 6 inches to like 2-3 feet long. Whereas on this 1977 Ford, it's actually got, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it well, but down at the base there, it's kind of flat. And it looks like it's actually kind of twisted over, and some of the secondaries are growing from the underside of the vine. So it must have twisted at some point. Plus I haven't been burying any vines on this one, and the main, I think that's the main, kind of sticking off to the side there. I haven't been training this plant very well at all, but my plans have been to get rid of this. I'm just going to be doing that here soon. And if you can see, I'll probably go on around to the other side real quick, but the main vine is almost to the plastic, so I'm going to have to open up that end of the hoop house here very shortly. So here is the other side of the 2177 Ford and 1977 Ford. As you can see, the 2177 is, in my opinion, is a much better plant. It's growing a lot faster, it's longer, it's got better secondaries, doesn't have that twist in the main vine. So just wanted to show you this side before I get rid of the 1977 Ford. So I'm at the hoop house with my two 1931 Turner plants. Just like the other with the Ford plants, I am going to be cutting out a plant here in a few minutes. As you can see, the one on the left here is a more aggressive, bigger plant. Its secondaries as well are basically to the edge of the plastic. This main vine tip actually is even further along than the 2177 Ford. If you can get a good look here, that's down the main. Probably can't tell a lot, but I have a bunch of secondaries that are doing pretty well on this plant. So overall, this plant on the left is doing much better. And the funny thing I just noticed when I looked at this one on the right closer, it's also twisted like that 1977 Ford. And it's got secondaries that are growing out the bottom and kind of getting smushed in there. And I think part of that has to do with the fact that I didn't really train these at all, and I didn't help them lay down very well. So they probably came down kind of goofy. But if you see here, this right here, this is actually a secondary from the plant on the left. So this is part of the reason I want to get this one on the right out of here. It's got secondaries growing into it from the one on the left. I'll go to the other side so you can see from that angle too. So now I am on the other side of the 1931 Turner plants. So you can see here it's got, I don't know, maybe 6 inches left till it hits the plastic. But there is both the plants. The one on the left actually has done pretty well at trying to catch up here. It just is kind of goofy looking in there when I look at it closer because things are twisted and not something I want to deal with when this one on the right is doing really well. But one thing I'm going to have to do, which got to get it done pretty quick, but once I open up the hoop house here, I don't have any fencing around this patch. And that makes me really nervous because we've had deer walking through our hayfield here. Even I think maybe yesterday we had a doe and a fawn go through. So it makes me really nervous opening up the hoop house and not having a fence around the patch. But I do have the fencing material. I just got it yesterday, so I have the fencing material. I just need to find the time to be able to put it up and get these plants protected once I open the hoop houses. One last thing I wanted to mention before I actually cut this plant out is, if you notice I've been saying cut, we don't want to just grab the vine and pull the plant out, because what you're going to do is these root systems on these plants are massive. And even though they're not like huge plants at this point, if I were to pull that main vine and pull it out, the roots on this plant would be intertwined with the one on the left here, and it would rip a lot of roots out. So what we do, if this will zoom in, what we do is we go right to the base where the plant's coming out of the ground. We just cut it off and just leave the root system there. That way we don't disturb the root system of the plant we want to keep. It is Sunday, June 1st, and before I give you an update on where the plants are, one thing you may notice is I do have a fence up. That is one thing I was concerned about when I started opening my hoop houses, is that I wanted to have a fence for protection, because I've had deer walking through this patch. So I have, where I have openings is at each hoop house I have a set of 4-inch round posts that I put in the ground. I don't have the gates built yet, but these are posts that I had left over from horse fencing. So I put those at each spot where I'm going to have a gate. And then this fence is, I think it's 2-inch spaces by 4-inch. I was stressing about the size of the openings because I was worried about critters going through it. And then I went and looked at my old patch, or my previous patch. This will get the weeds knocked down in a cover crop at some point when I find time to do that. But you probably can't even see the fence here. I'm holding it, but this is just like really cheap chicken wire with big holes, and they get animals, rabbits and stuff, go underneath it. So I don't know why I was stressing so much about my other patch, or about the fence on my new patch, but this thing's going to be so much better. I have the stapled onto the posts, on the wood posts, and then on these T-posts here, I just have a wire right here wrapped around on the top and the bottom, and I will be going around at some point if I can find time to do in the middle, just to make it a little bit stronger. But just wanted to show you the fence. I'm really glad I have that on there now that I got hoop houses opened up. So this is the 2177 Ford plant. As you can see, the 1977 Ford is no longer in the patch. That was taken out a couple days ago, or a few days ago. If you notice, the end of the hoop house is open and the side is rolled up on the one side where the secondaries are pushing out. One thing I wanted to show you, if you do decide to roll up your sides like this just to let the plant go out, I would make sure to roll the plastic underneath. So tuck it up underneath, because if you have it open on the top here, if you get a big rainstorm, it will fill up with water and it has a chance to crash down and snap your secondaries. So that's just something to think about if you do decide to roll it up like this. The main reason I roll my plastic up and not just take the plastic off is I like that extra protection over the main part of the plant, especially in early June. If we have a big storm, it does help protect the main part of the plant. So that is just the reason. That is the main reason I do that. Just for extra protection on the plant. Well, it's still young, and I don't know, maybe it doesn't do much, but so this is, you'll notice there's a chair here. That is what a lot of people call a patch chair, like a pumpkin patch chair. But basically what I do is I only have one over the main vine tip, because that is where all your growth for your pumpkin's gonna come from. So it produces the leaves, the flowers, the secondaries, the tendrils. So that is something you want to protect. Make sure you don't get fried from the sun. Make sure it doesn't get hailed on. Make sure just stuff doesn't break it. But here is the plant. If you notice, I am burying secondaries. They are probably 3 to 4 feet long. And this is, I want to say, my second best plant. So the 1931 Turner right now is the best one, so I'll take you there now. Okay, so now we are walking towards the 1931 Turner. If you notice, that one has the side rolled up as well and a chair over the main vine. So the end of that plant is open as well. I don't normally leave the plastic like this, but I opened it so I can get my camera in there and show you the plant from this side. But if you notice, the plant is shooting out. The secondaries are shooting out probably a foot or so past the edge of the hoop house there. And on this side, it probably has another foot before it gets to the edge. Since this was double planted, and if you notice, the other plant is not in here, but since this was double planted and it was planted on the left side, it makes sense that it reaches the left side first. I think both sides are pretty equal on length of plant, but this leaf right here, it does seem kind of high up. I hope it's not a super tall plant and catches a lot of wind, but overall I think it will be fine. But yeah, if you notice, it is shooting out the end there. I think this plant is probably putting on 6 to 12 inches of main vine growth every day right now. So I had to move this chair quite a bit this morning because it did push out quite, I don't know, probably 6 inches. Maybe it's more. But here's a look of the plant from the other side. I am burying secondaries on this plant as well. And one thing, or a couple things I want to show you is this on the main vine. If you notice that it sticks up in the air just a little bit, and then the tip points down. So this is a healthy main vine. This is a healthy vine tip, I guess is what you want to call it. But this is just the plant getting nitrogen, trying to push some growth, but not too much nitrogen, because if you have too much nitrogen, you'll shoot way up in the air, and then you have a chance of it breaking off. So I want to say this is a good amount of nitrogen, a good healthy tip. If you notice, the secondaries are similar. So I think the plant's doing really well. The other thing I wanted to show you is, I'll point right here maybe, but these are staples. Well, they're clothes hanger that are cut up, but I use them as plant staples. I did not come up with the idea, but I use it every year and I think they're great. They help hold the plant in place and I can position the plant how I want it. But all they are is clothes hangers cut. So I get 2 staples basically out of every clothes hanger. If you're like me, you have a ton of old clothes hangers laying around. So I just use the ones we had, and I think I got some from my parents. But yeah, so this is the 1931 Turner. It is doing really well. It's a little bit bigger than the 2177 Ford. But the 2 plants over here in the hoop house that do not have heating cables, there still are 2 plants in that hoop house, and they are growing much slower. So I'll take you over there now. As I'm walking to the other hoop house, I just want to say thank you to the people that had commented about these extra spots that I have not amended yet. So thanks to the people that commented on my last video, but I'm going to get these amended as soon as I can. I'm going to knock down the weeds, probably with a weed whip, rake it out of there, which now I just realized is going to be a little bit harder with the fence because I can't rake it right out. I'll have to throw it over, but thanks to people that commented. I'm going to get this amended as soon as I'm able to, but the fencing around this patch was more important to get done first in my mind. And then I'm working on a chicken coop and putting up horse fencing. So at some point I'll get to it, hopefully soon. I'm going to flip you around and show you these plants. So here are the 1970.5 Turner on the right and the 2190 Bledsoe on the left. It's hard to tell which one's bigger right now. I haven't really looked at them that close. They're not growing into each other, so I'm not too worried about getting rid of one yet. They are well behind my other plants, but I don't think they're really that far behind where I've been in the past without heating cables. They are behind some, and I don't know if it's because this plastic is just, it restricts the light a lot more. So I leave it open now on this end so it gets the good south sun. And I think that's helping push the plants, but I'll take you around to the other side quick so you can see the main vine. Okay, now we're on the other side. So the 1970.5 Turner is on the left and the 2190 Bledsoe is on the right. As you can see, they both got main vine pushing out. I haven't looked at the secondaries that close, but I can see the one there on the 1970.5 Turner. So it looks like it is putting out secondaries. I honestly don't know. I can't tell right now on camera. Looks like there's secondaries there as well. Definitely not shooting out as well as the other plants, but overall the plant looks healthy, or both plants look healthy. Got nice green leaves. Their vines looks to be pushing out, so I think these two will be just fine. I don't know which one I'm going to go with yet, so I think I got another week or so till I have to decide, but maybe if they really take off, I'll have to do it sooner. So that is where this video is going to wrap up. If you found anything helpful or entertaining, please subscribe to my channel. Drop a comment down below and I'll answer it either in the comments or on video. Thanks for watching.